Now, I'm hoping at this point you're actually feeling a little bit liberated, maybe a sense of relief. And some of these things you might even feel a little bit excited about implementing. So, yay, I'm going to save myself 500 bucks by not paying for that unnecessary software anymore. Or some of these things might be a sense of hopefulness, but you can feel that there's still a little bit of a gap between where you are and where you want to be. But now you've gotten a little bit more clear that this has to change, even if I don't know exactly how it is all going to unfold. Now, it's entirely possible that some of these things on the list, they feel really off to you and you are a little bit stumped. I don't know what to do. I feel really conflicted. And that may require a little bit of inner cleanup work. That's the mindset stuff. That's the other stuff that I like to help my clients with. And that is, are you afraid of rejection? Are you allowing your fear of what someone else is going to think be the obstacle to you doing what you need to do for yourself, your own well-being, and in your business? If you need to let someone go and you feel afraid that you're going to hurt that person, that could be stopping you from doing something that you intuitively know you need to do, not only for your business, but for your own emotional well-being. Maybe they're toxic. Maybe it's a financial drain on your business. Maybe they're just underperforming and it's not going to change. And you know that. So this is where sometimes you need to be willing to do some of that inner work in order to make these changes that are absolutely essential to you changing the energy and changing the trajectory of the energy in your life and in your business. Now, if you're not working with me one-on-one, these are things that I can assist you with. If you come into my inner circle coaching, there are also a lot of resources within the Inner Game Academy that can help you work through those things as well. So if you are a member of the Inner Game Academy, go in there and see if we can work through some of those things and some of the different releasing audios and videos. If you're not a member of the Inner Game Academy, it's incredibly affordable. Make sure you get yourself in there so you can start working on these things. Now, your next step is going to be to take some of these steps, okay, to actually start to move forward with these things that you've identified. So what is something you can do right now today? Is there something that you can do that's so easy, so obvious? Let's just do it right now. Let's shift a little bit of that energy. Let's get a little bit of relief. Maybe tomorrow, maybe this week, maybe this month. So I want you to really start to look at this now from that implementer mindset, okay? It's go time. It's time to clean up some energy. If you've got guests coming over to your house and you know the dishes need to be done and the floors need to be swept and things need to be tidied up, may not be your favorite things to do, but you're going to move into action, because the alternative is those people are going to come over and they're going to see all your filth. And if that's not okay with you, it's going to move you into action, even on the things that maybe you've been avoiding doing. So what can you do, knowing that if you don't do these things, it's going to continue to weigh you down. It's going to continue to be a burden financially, emotionally, energetically, of your time. And that's just not going to be acceptable anymore, because you've seen what this is doing to you. You know what is going to happen if you continue on this path. Enough is enough. Some things need to change. Sometimes that means you've got to roll your sleeves up. You've got to get your hands dirty. You've got to take care of some of these essential things that need to be addressed. Now, before you go off and you start taking action on these things, I want you to make a commitment. This is not all going to happen all at once, more than likely. Are you going to revisit this? Are you going to put things on your calendar? Are you going to have deadlines for when these things are going to get done? Now, this is a very individual thing. Okay. And this is something that you need to be really honest with yourself. How do you set yourself up to win? What is the accountability system that is going to work best for you? If that means every day I'm going to look at this and I'm going to just check things off, just like a to-do list. Or some of these things I know I can slot them in on my calendar. I'm going to tackle this migration by putting it on my calendar. Is it a process of delegation? My assistant can do this. I'm going to delegate that off to them. This is something I need to do. This is a difficult conversation I need to have. I want you to get really honest with yourself about what it's going to look like to now take care of all of these things. Okay. So set yourself up to win by making sure that you have some type of system of accountability, that you're actually going to work through these things and you are going to do what is necessary. Now, some of the things on your list, you may have still identified as being somewhat uncertain. Revisit this. When are you going to revisit this? When are you going to take a few moments to really meditate on this, reflect on this, really think about this honestly and objectively so that you can begin to get a little bit more clarity? Maybe you do need a little bit of coaching around some of these things. So what are you going to do to make sure that you're addressing everything that's on this audit? Now, I've been in situations where, as a consultant working with a client, we have brought in another consultant who has done an audit on, say, their SEO, for instance. You get a big, long list, okay? This is the things that, are really, really bad and really, really wrong. You need to address these things immediately. These are the things that are kind of a little bit off, and these are some things that you could do to fix these things. These things are great, wonderful. Keep doing more of this, okay? And you get this big, long list. And you look at it and you're like, oh, this is great. Paid $30,000 for this. Right? And then you do maybe like 2 things and then you shelf it. And the rest of it just kind of falls to the wayside. Don't do that. That is not of service to you. Not much is going to change if you do that. So what can you do to make this as easy for yourself as possible to honestly clean this stuff up, to take these actions, to move from where you are to where you know you need to be? Okay. So this is the planning out your course of action stage and setting up some type of accountability system for yourself to ensure that you don't drop the ball on these things. Okay, this isn't like a New Year's resolution. Oh, I'm going to lose 5-10 pounds. I'll get a gym membership. I'll buy the treadmill. I'll do this, I'll do that. And then you have really great intention, which is coming from a place of self-love. And then you don't do anything to actually ensure that you follow through. So set your intention right now. How can you make sure that you keep yourself on track and start to take some action? Start to check these things off of your list, okay? So that in a week from now or a month from now, you can be like, that was the best thing that I've ever done for myself. Because I promise you, when you let go of the things that are draining you financially, energetic, and your time, it will change the trajectory of the results that you are getting. And that is ultimately the goal. The goal is to feel a sense of relief, a sense of freedom from the stress, the burden, the stuckness, okay? So that when you're doing the things in your business, you're getting better results. And usually what I found is that after you've gone through this process, when you start to add new things, you're much more mindful about, is this actually aligned? Am I doing this for the right reasons? And maybe in, a year from now, maybe 6 months from now, depending on what type of accumulator you are, you might need to go through this process again. You may have accumulated through overaction, This process can be revisited. Do it again. Clean it up, clear your energy, get yourself back on that positive momentum trajectory. So I know that this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful reset process if you do it. And I know that you have the ability to clean up so much old stagnant energy by doing this. Now the ball is in your court. It's time for you to go and do your work. And I'd love to hear from you. So, email me, let me know, how did this process turn out for you? What wonderful, fresh new energy started to flow when you started to purge and release the things that were not serving you. And we will see you in other videos.